الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, and upon his family and his companions, and upon all those who follow, upon his guidance into the establishment of the last day. To proceed, ya ikhwan, Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wanfa'na bima 'allamtana wa rabbana zidna ilma walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Oh Allah, we ask that you teach us that which will benefit us, and that you benefit us with that which you have taught us, and that you increase all of us upon knowledge. And all praise belongs to Allah, Lord of all the worlds. Allahumma hdina li ahsan al-akhlaq, la yahdi li ahsaniha illa ant, wasrif anna sayyi al-akhlaq, la yasrif anna sayyiha illa ant. Oh Allah, we ask that you guide us to good character. Verily no one can guide us to good character except you. And we ask that you keep away from us evil character. For verily no one can keep away from us evil character except you. فالأخ أبو دعيم كان يسألنا عن معنى بعض الكلمات فنشرح إن شاء الله تعالى. So I believe Abu Da'im was asking with regards to a particular word, and we're going to explain إن شاء الله تعالى. فطيب انظر هنا يا إخوان. If you look here for a moment before we start, عندنا كلمة بعد أو بعد في الماضي، يبعد في المضارع، يبعد في المضارع. طيب بعد يبعد means to be far, to be distant, to be far, to be distant. هذا هو الأصل. This is the origin, the root word. بعد, to be far, to be distant. ثم يوجد فعل آخر. Then there's another verb. بعد 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 في المضارع يبعد بعد يبعد. To make something far, to make something distant, not to be distant, to make something distant, to distance something, to make far, to distance something. يتقارب, they are similar, they are close, but different. بعد بعد. وياكم وياكم أكرمكم الله. طيب وكذلك عندنا كلمة ثانية أو ثالثة. Then there's another word you can say. You can also say on the fourth or on the third form. باعد باعد باعد. To be distant, distant. You can say far. This can also be to make far, similar to the first. And then you also have on the fourth form aba'ada, to make far, to make distant. Or this one will be, let's change it, ikhwan. Allahumma ba'ad bayni. طيب نعم لا بأس. On the fourth form, there's another verb. There are quite a few in this incident situation. Ada. This is like the second. To make something for. So they're similar but slightly different. A few of them are the same. There's different ways you can say it. Is parts of the Arabic language. اللغة العربية يا إخوان لغة تفاصيل أو مفصلة. The Arabic language is a detailed language. And then you have another verb. You have another verb from the same root. ابتعد. ابتعد. To be far. Similar to the first. To be distant. To distance oneself from. To be distant. To be distant. And each one ولكل واحد اسم. And each one has a noun connected to it also. وكل هذا يدل على أن اللغة العربية لغة مفصلة. And all of this shows that the Arabic language is a detailed language. And then you have a noun, for example, بعيد, far, or distant. This is the noun. بعيد. طيب. وهكذا. And that's fourth. فوصلنا إلى سورة الناس. So we have arrived at سورة الناس. So we have arrived at سورة الناس. طيب من يذكر حديثا? Who can give us a before we start? A hadith for us before we start. تفضل يا أبا زبير. ما شاء الله ما شاء الله جميلا جميلا أحسنت أحسنت. طيب ومن بعد who else can give us يا إخوان who else can give us ماذا حديث. نعم لا بأس not a condition. ما شاء الله أحسنت أحسنت. وهذا يدل على فضل اختيار الزوج أو اختيار الزوجة. And this shows the virtues of choosing a suitable husband or suitable wife, or a righteous husband or righteous wife. ومن بعد who else can mention a hadith يا إخوة؟ وعليك السلام تفضلي.
وكانت بيدي تتيش في الصحبة فقال لي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا غلام سم لله وقل بيمينك وقل مما يليك فما زالت تلك صامتي بعد.
ما شاء الله، الله أكبر، جميلا، أكرمك الله، أكرمك الله. ما شاء الله يا إخوان، ما شاء الله. طيب، ومن أيضا له حديث أو لها حديث? Who else has a hadith that they want to mention before we start? Who else is with us tonight يا إخوان؟ شيخ نكير تفضل. طيب، لا بأس. طيب، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال صاحب البرنامج أكمل كما في النموذج. So the author continues, complete as it comes in the example. النموذج, the example. الله الناس. قل أعوذ بالله من شر الناس. طيب. Say, I seek refuge with Allah min sharr الناس, from the evil of mankind. طيب. عندنا الآن يا إخوان سنضيف بعض الأشياء إلى الجملة. So now we're going to add a few things to the sentence. We're going to add the ba, and we're going to add min sharri. Min sharri. So we're going to add the ba, b, the ba, and we're going to add min sharri. So we're going to add with, and we're going to add from the evil of. With, we're going to add from the evil of. طيب. فعندنا 5 جمل. So we have 5 sentences. We're going to add the ba, and we're going to add min sharri. So the next one we have Rabbin. Oh, Rabb should be Arabic. Rabbin nas. And then we have ash-shaytan. We have Rabbin nas. And then we have ash-shaytan. So we're going to add the ba and the min sharri. Who wants to go first, ya ikhwan? تفضل يا أبا زبير. Good. Min? MashaAllah, accent. So number 1, you should have Qul A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas min Sharri Ash-Shaytan. This should be number 1. Qul, say, Qul A'udhu bi Rabbin Nasi min Sharri Ash-Shaytan. Say, I seek refuge with the Lord of mankind, min sharri shaitan, from the evil of shaitan, min sharri shaitan. So we're going to add the ba, b. We're going to add the ba, and we're going to add the min sharri. All right, for those who want to see the screen on the Facebook, they can go over to the YouTube and participate in the class. They can see the notes, see the book, see the notes, and see the words. Alhamdulillah, on the YouTube, on the Facebook, we just broadcast our voice. طيب. Abu Daim, تفضل. Number 2. مالك الناس and الوسواس. Close. Try it again. قل. Good. Good. Be. Hey, be Rabbi. Be Rabbi. Malik. Good. Good. من شر الوسواس. Good. One more time. All together. Good. من شر الوسواس. Good. So in this sentence, ya ikhwan, is something. Something that we forget, ya ikhwan. The evil of the whispers. Not every whisper is easy, or not every whisper is evil, but we seek refuge from the evil whispers. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ. The Lord, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ. طيب. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ. That's too much there. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِمَلِكِ النَّاسِ. طيب. Take the rub away here and just add the ba. That's better. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِمَلِكِ النَّاسِ. Now. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِمَلِكِ النَّاسِ. طيب. Malik here is in place of Rabb. طيب. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِمَلِكِ النَّاسِ. Malik النَّاسِ is Allah, the Rabb of mankind. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِمَلِكِ النَّاسِ مِنْ شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ. Say, I seek refuge with the owner, the possessor of mankind, from the evil whispers. Not every whisper is evil. So you're specifying. You're seeking refuge from those evil whispers, those evil thoughts. Sometimes from our own selves. Remember, ya ikhwan, ليس كل وسواس من الشيطان. لا. النفس لها الوسواس أيضا. Not every whisper is from shaitan. Sometimes your soul, our souls, have evil within our souls. So we have to seek refuge with Allah Ta'ala min sharri nafs, from the evil of our souls, from the evil of our thoughts, from the evils of our speech, from the evils of our actions. فجميع الشر نعوذ بالله تعالى منه, all of the evil. We seek refuge with Allah Ta'ala from it. Whether it's from ourselves, from our tongues, from our hands, from our ears, from our heart. Sometimes we forget you can love something that's evil. So we seek refuge with Allah Ta'ala min sharr al-qulub, from the evil of even our hearts. Loving something that's haram. Loving something that's shar, of evilness. فَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ تَعَالَى مِنْ ذَلِكَ. So we seek refuge with Allah Ta'ala from that. Number 3. رَبِّ الْفَلَقِ الْخَنَّاسِ. The Lord of the dawn, and Al-Khannas, the shaitan who whispers. Whose turn? Sakina, tfadali. Good. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Jamilan. Number 3, you should write A'udhu bi Rabbil Falaq, from the Lord of the dawn, from min sharril khannas, from the evil of the shaitan who whispers. Qul, say, I seek refuge. Bi Rabbil Falaq, from the Lord of the Falaq, the Lord of the dawn. Min sharril khannas, from the evil of the shaitan who whispers in the hearts of mankind. Al-Khannasu. Al-Khannasu. Ahsanti. طيب. الرابعة number 4 إله المال, the Lord, the deity of mankind from money. Oh, نسينا يا إخوان أحيانا قد يكون المال raw. Sometimes we forget that money and property and possessions can be evil. كيف يقول المال شرا? How can money be evil? كيف؟ Hey, في الاستخدام, the way you utilize it. في الاستخدام. To our question, كيف يكون المال شرا? How can money be evil? كيف يكون المال شرا? How can money be evil? الاستخدام, how you use the money. The money itself may not be evil, في الأصل, in the origin, but what you do with it is evil. What else? How you earned it is evil. The money itself is not haram. Money is ibaha, it's pure, mubahun, it's allowed. ولكن الاستخدام والكسب, but what you do with the money, or how you earn the money. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. What else, ya ikhwan? One that we forget. Huh? Hey, how you spend it. MashaAllah. So we can say fil istikhdam, how you use it, what you do with the money. Al istikhdam, what you do with it. Fil istikhdam, how is it used? What do you do with the money? He just holds it, doesn't do nothing with it. That's of no benefit. Saving and saving and saving and saving, and then you die. May Allah help us. طيب, al-kasbu, what you do. طيب, how do you earn the money? How you got it? What else? There are many. هل هو يشغلك عن الله? Does this money, this property, these fancy clothes, these fancy shoes, this fancy this or fancy that, it's allowed to have nice things. That's allowed. It's allowed to look nice. That's allowed. It's allowed to have nice shoes. That's allowed. It's allowed to have fancy clothes. That's allowed. ولكن إذا هذه الأشياء تشغلنا عن عبادة فتكون حراما. But if these things preoccupy us from the worship of Allah, now they become haram. So something can be allowed in the origin, but depending on what you do with it, how you earn it, how you love it. Some of us love money. Does this love that you have for the money, do you love it more than you love Allah? Then that's shirk. Do you love it the same way you love Allah? That's also shirk. So you can't love it more than Allah. You can't love it equal to how you love Allah. And you can't allow it to be an enemy to you. Anything that diverts you from Allah is your enemy. And it could be an enemy at that moment and not originally. A wife can be an enemy. A husband can be an enemy. A child can be an enemy. A companion can be an enemy. Money can be an enemy. The dunya can be an enemy. Whatever it is. Although it may not be an enemy altogether, at that moment it can be an enemy. Wallahu alam. And Allah knows best. طيب الرابعة number 4 إله الناس المالي. Whose turn؟ أبو زبير تفضل. Good. ما شاء الله. قل أعوذ بإله من شر المال. Tremendous one يا إخوان. All of us need to memorize that. Say أعوذ بإله الناس. It should be an alif. بإله الناس من شر المال. From the evil of money. Not all money is good money. Not all money is good money. Some money is evil money. Any money that diverts you away from Allah. Money that you earned it in a haram manner. Any money that you do, you utilize it in a haram way. قل أعوذ بإله الناس من شر المال. From the evil of money. Some of us, we wish to be rich. But if we were rich, we would be chaotic. We would be more evil. We perhaps would acquire more sin. Say, I seek refuge with the God of mankind. Allahu Akbar. From the evil of money. From the evil of money. Allahu Akbar. احفظوا هذه الجملة يا أخوان. Memorize this one. قل أعوذ بإله الناس من شر المال. Say I seek refuge with the deity of mankind. من شر المال. Teach your wives, teach your children, you sisters, teach your husband. It's not always on the husband to teach. It's not always on the wife to teach. صاحب العلم يعلم. The one that has the knowledge should be the main teacher. بعض الرجال يظنون أنه على المرأة أن تعلمه. نعم قد يكون إذا تكون صاحبة العلم. الحمد لله. Many of the brothers, they think it's on the wives to teach them. It could be. If she has knowledge, then yes, she should teach. You teach what you learn. وكذلك بعض النساء يظن أنه على المرء أو أنه على الرجل أن يعلمهم. نعم قد يكون إذا يكون من أصحاب العلم فصاحب العلم يعلم. Some of the women, they think you have to teach me because you're a man. Perhaps if he has knowledge, yes, he should teach. The one that possesses the knowledge teaches. If they both have knowledge, then they both should teach one another and reminding one another. Sometimes you don't even have to teach. We can just come together and read the Quran as a family. When was the last time we did that, ya ikhwan? We argue, we do this, we do that, we have fun. Alhamdulillah, we work out, we do all of these tremendous things. What about just grabbing the Quran? You read a page, I read a page. You read 5 verses, I read 5 verses. When was the last time we sat our families down and said, hey, let's read some Quran? Allahu Akbar. If we did that more, I guarantee our situations would change. If we studied more and increase ourselves in knowledge more and worship Allah Ta'ala more, we would argue less. We would forgive one another more. We'll be more kind and merciful to each other. Wallahu alam. And Allah knows best. طيب الله الجني. تفضل يا whose turn? أبو ضعيم تفضل. Good. ما شاء الله. أحسنت. طيب number 4. Number 5 rather. قل أعوذ بالله من شر الجن. Not all the jinn is good. We seek with Allah Ta'ala from the evil jinn. قل أعوذ بالله من شر الجن. Allahu Akbar. Say, I seek refuge with Allah from the evil of the jinn. Not all jinn is evil, or not all jinn is good. So we're seeking refuge with Allah from the evil jinn. Sometimes a person gets offended. Someone says to that person, I seek refuge with Allah from your evil. Instead of getting offended, you should say, Ameen. Everyone has evil. It can be in their heart. It can be in their tongue. It can be in their ears. It can be in their sight. It can be in their soul. Someone says, I seek refuge from your evil. Don't get offended ever. You should say, Ameen. Or you should say, and I do too. Sometimes we get offended, ya ikhwan. بدلا من أن ننظر إلى المعنى الكلمة. Instead of getting offended, we should look at the meaning of what's being said. Sometimes we say, ittaqillah. And the man says, what do I do now, ya akhi? No. هذا من أعظم النصائح. That's from the best of advice. Your wife is about to go outside. You say, fear Allah. She says, what did I do? You say, no, that's advice. The man is about to go outside. She says, fear Allah, fear the dunya. Don't get offended. You say, shukran. She says, fear Allah and fear this dunya. That's from Quran. You say to your companion, I seek refuge with Allah Ta'ala from your evil. He shouldn't get offended. He should say, Ameen, and so do I. We have to look at the meanings of what's being said sometimes and stop always getting offended. We have become an emotional people. Everything is emotion. Every post is against us. No, suppose that person is not even talking about you. Every advice is for you. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. If it fits, benefit. If it doesn't fit, لا تبالي به, then don't give it no consideration. We have to stop being so emotional. Everything the wife says, we get offended. Everything the man says, they get offended. No, look at it. Perhaps it's correct. If it's false, لا تبالي به, then don't pay no consideration. والله أعلم. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. التدريب الثالث. Exercise number 3. املأ الفراغات. Complete, fill in the blanks. عندنا 6 جمل و6 كلمات. So we have 6 sentences and 6 words. Alright, من يقرأ الكلمات? Who can read all of the words? تفضل. Good. تبتعد. Good. 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 MashaAllah. طيب, we have some new words. Some of them are new, some of them are old. طيب, sirran. Sirran. Private. Secretly. Silently. Sirran. It can be silently, privately, secretly. Where's my spelling, ikhwan? Private. Private. Shukran. Privately. Secret. Shukran. Silently, privately. It can also mean silently, privately. So that's fine for now. Huh? It can also be hidden. Now, accent. طيب. تبتعد. Something feminine is distant. Something feminine is distant, or you are distant. تبتعد can be you or something feminine. You or a female or something feminine is distant. It's far. صدري, my chest. The speaker, المتكلم. Someone is talking. He's talking about his own or her own chest. صدري, صدري, my chest. صدري. Our brother says, Ya Rabbi, take our hearts far away from the love of money and status more than we love you. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Ameen. Allahumma ameen. طيب. يذكر. طيب. صدوري. صدوري. صدور is the plural. Chests. صدور. The plural. One chest. صدور. Chests. More than one. طيب. Would it be chest with an S? Chest, plural. يذكر from ذكر. ذكر means to remember. It can also mention. ذكر. And the مضارع يذكر. It can mean to remember. It can also mean to mention. ذكرت. I mention. ذكرت. I remember. عدو. As we mentioned, adu is an enemy. Anyone or anything that can divert you or is diverting you away from Allah is an enemy. Even if it's not an enemy in the origin. If it's diverting you right now, money in the origin is allowed, but it's preoccupying you from your worship. It's busy in you. You love it more than you love Allah. Now it's your enemy. It's making you turn away from Allah. Now it's your enemy. All right, but the last word, adun. Adu. Enemy. Not always on the battlefield. Be your own enemy. We seek refuge with Allah Ta'ala in our own enemies. Sometimes nothing is standing in front of us from learning our religion. You have teachers, you have ulama, you have students of knowledge, you have imams, you have classes in every masjid, you have classes online, every app, every device, and we still don't want to learn. Nothing is in our way. لا يكون أمامنا إلا أنفسنا. Nothing is in front of us except our own souls. Laziness, the lack of desire. Many of us don't even want to learn. We got comfortable being ignorant. And that's also a disease. May Allah help us. طيب. فعندنا هذه 6 كلمات علينا أن نختارها لتكمل بها الجمل. So we have 6 words. We have to choose these words to complete the sentences with them. طيب. تفضلي يا سكينة. You be our first reader. MashaAllah, Santi. Number 1, you should have يوسوس الشيطان في صدور الناس. الله أكبر. في صدور الناس. Number 1, Shaitan whispers in the hearts of mankind. And it's a tremendous point, ya ikhwan. Because Shaitan doesn't whisper to our ears or the likes. We just think he does. He's whispering to our souls, to our hearts. He usually whispers with something you already love. So he whispers to you in your soul, in your heart, for example. And most times it's at a time when you wasn't even thinking about that thing. You're doing something of worship, of virtue. ثُمَّ تَأْتِي الْوَسْوَاسُ. Then the whispers come. ثم بعد أن تنتهي بالعبادة ذهبت الوسوسة. And then usually when your worship is complete, the whispers go away. Allahu Akbar. And sometimes Shaitan is not whispering something evil to you. Sometimes he's just trying to get you to do something of lesser reward. If he sees you to be righteous and he can't get you with some sins, okay, he tries to get you on doing something less in reward. So pay attention there. طيب الثانية, number 2. تفضل يا أبا زبير. Number 2.
يقرأ المسلم الفاتحة سرا في صلاة الظهر.
الله أكبر, الله أكبر. Accent. Number 2. يقرأ المسلم الفاتحة سرا في صلاة الظهر. The Muslim, he recites Al-Fatiha silently, sirran, in the afternoon or the midday prayer. في الظهر وفي العصر يقرأ المسلم الفاتحة سرا. He recites Al-Fatiha silently to himself. نعم, accent. الثالثة, أبو ضعيم, تفضل. Number 3.
المسلم يقرأ
MashaAllah. Accent. Number 3. المسلم يذكر الله كثيرا. The Muslim remembers Allah a lot. وهذا عظيم. And that's tremendous, ya ikhwan. To remember Allah often. To keep Allah Ta'ala not only on your tongue, but in your hearts. You're going to forget from time to time. But علينا نذكر الله كثيرا. But we have to remember Allah in abundance. طيب. Did Sheikh Nakir return, ya ikhwan? Who else is with this? Sheikh's name, but I don't know if he logged out or no. طيب. Ali is not with us tonight. طيب. لا بأس. Number 4. Kina, تفضلي. Say it again. You raise your voice some. There's one a little better than that one. Try it again. Good. Good. Ahsanti. Number 4, ya ikhwan, remember, al-jinnah is the jinn, not al-jannah. Different words. You have al-jinnah and you have al-jannah. And this shows once again tafasil, or the depth of the Arabic language, the precision and the accuracy of Arabic. Al-jannah. Should be a G. Al-jannah. And then you have al-jinnah. So pay attention. Al-jinnah, al-jannah. Al-jannah is the garden, the paradise. Al-jannah. Ghayatu jami'i al-muslimin. The goal of every Muslim is al-jannah. And then you have al-jinnah. Al-fatha ila al-kasra. The fatha becomes a kasra. Al-jinnah. Al-jinnah. This is the jinn. Or you can say the world of the jinn. Al-jinnah. So remember, not all the times that are being racist or are being uppity or they have al-unsuriyah. When we say a word in Arabic and they say a'udhu billah, astaghfirullah, and we think, oh, they're being racist. Not all the time. Sometimes we are saying the word wrong. Sometimes they have the right to be offended. Any Muslim, if someone says something wrong, you have the natural jealousy of your religion. When you're studying the language of your religion, you're going to have natural jealousy towards it. Someone says something wrong, and you're a person of that language, you study that language. It's natural that you have jealousy of it. So they're not always wrong when they correct us. Oh, they think they're better than us. No, I said it wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. We don't always have to be so emotional and so offended. Sometimes we say, Uridul Jinnah. And then a brother says, Astaghfirullah. And we get offended. No, we said it wrong. There's a farqu bain al-jinnah wal-jannah. Bain al-jinnah wal-jannah. One is the paradise and one is the jinn or the world of the jinn. Al-jannah, al-jinnah. One time there was a sister, she said, my daughter's name is Jinnah. You say, no, I don't think it's Jinnah. She says, yes, I named her Jinnah, Jinnah. I say, yes, I don't think that's what you meant. She says, no, that is what I meant. I said, what does it mean? She says, the paradise. I said, no, that's a different word. You said Jinnah. That means the jinn. So sometimes we get it wrong. It's okay to be wrong. But we have to stop being so offensive and offended and so emotional when someone corrects you, ikhwan. It's tremendous to get corrected. Now you don't have to continue with the mistake. I'd rather you correct me than to hear me make a mistake and don't say nothing. If I'm wrong and you correct me, most of the time it's because you love me. If I'm wrong and you say nothing, I would rather get offended that you correct me than get offended that I was wrong and you heard me say it wrong and you didn't correct me. Wallahu alam, and Allah knows best. So al-jannah, the paradise. Al-jinnah, the jinn. So our sentence here, our sister recited. تبتعد الجنة عن الإنسان إذا ذكر الله. The jinn, talking about the evil jinn, they stay away, they distance themselves from the person when the person mentions Allah. The shayateen and the evil shayateen, not the Muslim shayateen, not the Muslim jinn, no. The evil jinn, the evil shayateen, when you say Allah, that's why you should always remember Allah. You come in your house, you say Bismillah. Teach your children. If they come in without saying Bismillah, no, go out, come back in and say Bismillah. Teach your children, when you come in, say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim or Bismillah. Even the little ones. So shaitan or the shayateen won't come in with them. Teach your neighbors and your family, even the non-Muslim, because shaitan can come in with them also. So you say Bismillah, ya akhi. They don't say Bismillah, you go out and come back in, that's better. At any rate, you teach your children to say Bismillah. Before you eat, you say Bismillah. Before you go out, Bismillah. Before you get dressed, Bismillah. Before you come to your wives, Allahu Akbar. What religion on the face of the earth has a prayer? Allahu Akbar. When I first heard this, you know Islam is the truth. There's a prayer before you enjoy your wife. There's a prayer you say, Allahu Akbar, before the wife enjoys the husband. There's a prayer, Allahu Akbar, that shows that Islam means Allah. It's from Allah. Nobody made it up. No other way of life is there a prayer you say when you come to your wife or you come to your husband and you take a moment and you say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Allahumma jannibna shaytana wa jannib shaytana ma razaqtana. You say Bismillah, oh Allah, Allahu Akbar. I ask you that you protect us from shaitan. Distance us, make shaitan away from us, and that you protect us if you provide us from this action and offspring, that you protect that offspring from shaitan. That's a tremendous prayer you say before you enjoy your wife, before you enjoy your husband. This shows Islam is complete. Even at the time of intimacy or relations or enjoying one another, you stop and you remember Allah. Allah. When you come out of the hammam, you remember Allah. You go into the hammam, you remember Allah. You're getting dressed, you remember Allah. You're taking your clothes off, remember Allah. You eat, you remember Allah. After the meal, you remember Allah. Allahu Akbar, ikhwan. If this is not enough to show you Islam is the true religion, the religion of the prophets and messengers, I don't know what is, ikhwan. Wallahu alam. And Allah knows best. طيب الخامسة, number 5. Whose turn? Abu Zubayr, تفضل. MashaAllah. Ahsant. Ash-shaytanu adu al-insan. Shaitan is the enemy of mankind. He's your open enemy. Even when you think he's not an enemy, he's still your enemy. And he's the enemy of all of mankind. Allah Akbar. طيب Abu Daim as-sadisa, number 6. MashaAllah. Number 6, there's a new word there, or 2 new words. Ash'uru bi alamin. I feel, I perceive a pain. Fi sadri, in my chest. Ash'uru means to perceive, to feel something. The word ash'uru, it usually comes with the ba. Ash'uru, to feel, perceive, I feel, or I perceive. Then it comes with the ba. It doesn't really change it. It's, I feel, it just kind of goes with it. It doesn't really do anything to the meaning. It's just a particle that goes with that verb. Is the pain. Alamun. Alamun. A pain. Alamun. طيب. Let's try to read this last page, ikhwan. طيب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. التدريب الرابع, exercise number 4. I think we had that for homework the other day, so we can skip that. التدريب الخامس, exercise number 5. أجب كما في طيب. أجب, answer. طيب. اقرأ وتجب. So I want you, everyone's going to read, and then I want you to answer. Whose turn? Sakina, تفضلي. Number 1. Good. MashaAllah. So, who is the Lord of mankind? So, as our sister said, Allahu Rabbun Nasi. Allah is the Lord of mankind. طيب. Abu Zubayr, number 2. Good. Good. Man malikun nasi. Who is the owner, the judge of mankind? Malikun nasi, Allah. The owner, the judge of mankind is Allah. Accent. Abu Daim, تفضل. Number 3. Good. No, you can say that. Accent. Ma'budun haqqu Allah. Right, 2 ways you can answer it. Look at the sentence. There are 2 ways you can use, but 2 ways. Right, for example, number 1, Man Rabbun Nas. Right, Man Rabbun Nas. Right, who is the Lord of mankind? Man Rabbun Nasi. Right. Now, 2 ways you can say it. You can say Allahu Rabbun Nas. Allahu Rabbun Nas. You can say that first. Hit Allah first. Allahu Rabbun Nasi. Allah is the Lord of mankind. Or you can put Allah last. And you say Rabbu an-Nasi Allah. Or you can say Hu Allah. 2 ways. Allah or Hu Allah. You can start with Allah or you can end with Allah. Allahu Rabbun Nas or Rabbun Nasi Allah. It's up to you. The meaning is the same. You can say Allah or Hu Allah. You can start off with Allah or you can end with Allah. Man Malikun Nas, Malikun Nasi Allah, or Allahu Malikun Nasi. It's up to you. The meaning is the same. Alright. Allahu Ilahun Nas. You say the same thing. Start with Allah. Allahu Ilahi An-Nas. Or Allahu Ilahun Nas. Start off with Allah. Allah is the deity of mankind. Or hit Allah last. So you say Ilahu, there should be a Hamza. Ilahun Nasi Allah. Same meaning. The structure changed, but the meaning is the same. Ilahun Nasi Allah. And the first one we said, Allah is the deity of mankind. And the second, the deity of mankind is Allah. Same meaning. We just changed the structure. In this one here, we said Allah is the deity of mankind. The God, the deity of mankind. Same meaning. We just changed the structure. And in this second, we said the deity of mankind is Allah. Same meaning. Allahu ilahun nas. Ilahun nasi Allah. The meaning is the same. We just changed the structure of the sentence. That's like saying, my name is Naeem. Or Naeem is my name. Same meaning. Whose turn? Rabi'a, number 4. تفضل.
من رب الفلق.
Good.
الله رب الفلق.
MashaAllah. Same thing. Now, what's the other way you could say it? MashaAllah. I sent. طيب. Who is the Lord of the dawn? Rabbul Falaq, Allah. Or Allahu Rabbul Falaq. Same meaning. طيب. Whose turn? Last sentence. تفضل. Whose turn? Sakina or Abu Daim? Whose turn? Sakina's turn or Abu Daim's turn? تفضل.
من أي شيء يستعجل الإنسان في هذه الصورة.
ما شاء الله.
I'm trying to interpret it in my brain.
No problem. Take your time.
الإنسان يستعجل الإنسان
Good.
بالله.
طيب. Now look at the sentence. Not with who or with what mankind seeks refuge from in this surah, but from what? Not with who, from what? Good. Now, all that's true. That's fine. من أي شيء يستعيذ الإنسان في هذه الصورة. From what thing is mankind seeking refuge from in this surah? Our brother mentions a few. من شر الجن والإنس. You can say that. That's general. Also something specific. The jinn that does what? Hey, the one that whispers. The one that whispers. So generally, you are seeking refuge from the jinn and mankind. That's general. But min sharril waswasil khannas, from the evil of the shaitan, the jinn who whispers. Alladhi waswisu fi sudurin nas. And then you explain, or then Allah explains, the ones that whispers where? They whisper into the hearts, the chest, the breasts, for example. This is what they whisper. Fi sudurin nas, in the chest and the hearts of mankind. Min al jinnati wan nas, from the jinn and from mankind. So you're not seeking refuge only from mankind. No, mankind and the jinn. Not generally mankind and the jinn. No, specifically those who whisper into the hearts of mankind and the jinn. That's a tremendous surah that we forget about, ya ikhwan. There's a reason the Prophet of Allah, after every surah, mentions to recite these three surah. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ, and قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ. There's a reason the Messenger of Allah used to put his hands together and spit three times. One narration he recite first and spit three times after, and then say these three surah. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ, and قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, and then wipe as much as he can of his body. And he would do that whole process three times. There's a reason the Prophet of Allah, after the Fajr, would recite قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, three times, each surah. And there's a reason after the Maghrib, the Messenger of Allah would recite three times قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ, and قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, three times. These surah or surah, they have tremendous virtue, ya ikhwan. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. قال تدريب السادس, exercise number 6. اقرأ. So he says, read. كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أوى إلى فراشه. The messenger of Allah, when he his firash, the place where he sleeps, his mattress, his bedding, his carpet, anywhere you sleep, your firash, your bedding area. كل ليلة, every night. جمع كفيه, he would put his palms together. ثم نفث فيهما, and then he would spit lightly in them both. One narration says 1 time he would spit. There's another narration, I have to check the authenticity of it, that he would spit 3 times. The 3 times is usually talking about he would do that process. He would do that whole process. But there's a narration that mentions he would spit, like this wording here, without mentioning the number. And there's another narration, but we have to check the authenticity of it, that says he spit 3 times. I believe that the number should be talking about the process, not the spitting. That's what's authentic. That's what's in Bukhari and Muslim, and Allahu Alam, and also Abu Dawood. A benefit connected to the Arabic language, if something is mentioned without no number, then it's understood to be 1. Like the hadith of Hudayfa, when it says the Prophet made the wudu, and then he wiped this body part 3 times and that body part 3 times, and then when he got to the feet, he said he wiped the feet. Some scholars say meaning he wiped the feet 3 times. Other scholars say no, and this appears to be correct, that he wiped the feet 1 time. And they use the fact that no number is mentioned. Usually in the language, if no number is mentioned, it's understood to be 1. If a number is mentioned, then it's understood to be whatever that number is. So the spitting, that which is authentic, wallahu alam, is the spitting is once. So the Prophet of Allah put his hands together, ثُمَّ نَفَثَ فِيهِمَا, and then he would spit, or you can say blow lightly. It's not a saliva spit, as we mentioned. A slightly blow, or a slight blow. فَقَرَأَ فِيهِمَا, and then he would recite in them both, meaning in his palms. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, Surah Al-Ikhlas. وَقُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ, Surah Al-Falaq. وَقُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, and Surah Al-Nas. ثُمَّ يَمْسَحُ بِهِمَا مَا اسْتَطَاعَ مِنْ جَسَدِهِ, and then he will wipe with both of them, meaning his hands. مَا whatever he had the ability to, مِنْ جَسَدِهِ, from his body. So the Prophet of Allah, the hadith of Bukhari Muslim, mentions every night. Allahu Akbar. So you come to your bedding, your firash, your bed, your mattress, your cot, wherever you sleep is your firash. He would put his hands together, his palms, and then blow on them. ثم قرأ قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس, and then wipe with both of them ما استطاع من جسده, as much as he had the ability to wipe from his body. يبدأ بهما على رأسه وجهه, and he will start from his head and his face. وما أقبل من جسده, and he will go downward. He did not go upward, he will go down. يفعل ذلك ثلاثة. Now, this is the narration here, and he would do that whole process 3 times. That's a tremendous sunnah that we have to get back to. You go to bed, you teach your wives, teach your children, you sit up, or you can sit down. It doesn't mention he was laying down or not, sitting up. That part is up to you. It may be more honorable to sit up. And then you put your palms together and you blow. And then you recite, قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد to the end. قل أعوذ برب الفلق to the end. قل أعوذ برب الناس to the end. And then wipe starting from your head and your face all the way down to your body as much as you can. And you do that whole thing 3 times. From the hadith of Aisha. No. Oh yeah. Fadali. No. That's a good question, Ikhwan. Our sister's asking, say you have your babies, your children there. Can you sit them all together and do one recitation and one wiping for each? Allah Alam. We would say Allah knows best. Would it be better? We can say what's better is that you do that one for each. Inshallah, one will be equivalent to everyone. Inshallah, no problem. We can't say that's not allowed. You can't say that's haram. You can't say that's not accepted. But we can say what's better. That you do that, especially while you have the young children. That you do it each one for each one. Or you teach them, say, especially the mothers. They sit their children down with them. And the children, they follow. When our beloved sister Sakina recites, you hear her children reciting behind her. And that's usually the case with the mothers and fathers. The children mock and imitate and follow their parents, especially in knowledge. So you do this while they're young. Allahu Akbar. And perhaps they grow up upon that. And then they die upon that. And this is the origin. This is the goal. So you sit your children down. And you do it. Even for the younger ones that can't recite it with you. But you're still teaching them. So now you say it you say it while they're watching you. And then you teach them to follow you. And then they do that following you. But for the ones that can't talk yet or can't recite yet, so you do it for them, I would say do it for each one. Now there's no doubt that that's correct, but we hope if you do it once for all of the children and you wipe one time over all of them, that will be suffice, inshallah ta'ala also. But what's better is that you do it each one or the whole process for each of the children. For those that can't say it themselves, for the children that can say it themselves, you teach them to the best of your ability, that they follow you and they do it also. Before they go to sleep, you remind them, did you make your dua? And sometimes do it with them. This is better. Take a moment with your children and recite it with them. And then you wipe, and then they wipe their bodies. You wipe your body. This will be better. Wallahu alam. And Allah ta'ala knows best. That's a good question. طيب. We have one small benefit left, ya ikhwan, but it's maybe 3 pages, so we'll stop here, inshallah. This is a benefit regarding some of the verses of the Quran. So we're going to make sure we know those words also. So we completed the tafsir. So we have one last benefit, but since it's getting late, it's going to take maybe 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes. So we'll save that, inshallah, for our next portion. Once again, remember, make sure I have all of your emails. As I mentioned earlier, a week ago or so, there was one book left in level 1, but Ali mentioned to our attention, or bring it to our attention, that there are actually 2 books left. I didn't see the Dalil Mu'allim for some reason, so I know some people were excited that there was 1 book left. At any rate, that's a mistake on my part. As she mentioned, that there was actually 2 books, in which it is 2 books left. So now we have completed this book here, but we have one last benefit regarding 1 verse, a lot of vocabulary there, and then another verse here also, and it gives us each of the words, so we can finish that in 15 minutes or so, inshallah, and try to memorize those words there. But since it's kind of late now, we'll save that for Saturday, inshallah ta'ala. So we'll stop there, ikhwan. Wa subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.